Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank everyone, first of all, for watching my last video on the sexual addiction. I got such an outpouring of support and like love, and it was really uplifting because it's such a vulnerable subject, and it's something that I'm just like not even like sure about. I don't even have like a lot of experience um with like the sexual addiction thing, or like really like any like knowledge. So I got a lot. It was actually quite overwhelming, which is why I'm making this video so quick, like so fast, is because it was really overwhelming, the response that I got. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten as many new subscribers and views so quickly, and just messages and comments all coming in. And it takes a lot of time to, you know, go through, read, and respond to all of those. So I kind of felt like it would be just like the best to keep the conversation going like I wanted, and you guys participated, and I'm gonna keep it going by making this video and responding to some of the comments that or some of the feedback I got. And everything is going to be completely anonymous. If I like, some people I told like, hey, I would love to share this in the video, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, or don't say my name. And just, I'm not going to say anyone's name. And if I upset anyone for actually disclosing any information you sent in a message to me, even though I don't say your name, I really, really apologize. But basically, like, it all started coming in so quickly. I just had to make this video because I already started losing track of like all of the like, because you get like, I post the video, but then you get the messages on Instagram, and you get them on Twitter, and you get them on tweets and DMs and text messages, and it was really quite unbelievable. My close friends, fans that I'm familiar with, strangers. Once again, thank you so much. Um, I felt like the circumstances of my addiction are unique, but I'm learning that, it's all in how you look at things. There are so many similarities that everyone has, and they're from all different walks of life. So, when you're trying to get well, it's most important to uh, see what the similarities and stories are, and not what the differences are. So I'm just gonna get started and responding to and just sharing. And then I thought some of these things that people shared with me were insightful, and that I should use this platform to share them with others. So without any further ado, um, I have them on my, like, I usually prefer to print everything out because it's like so annoying, like being like, I hate like using my phone for everything. So I really like to like print things out, but I don't have a printer right now. So I kind of just like made a list in my notes here, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about it. Like, I don't really care how long this video is. And, really, this is for those who get something from it. I'm not trying to get views. I'm trying to really engage with the people who are interested in the subject, and they and that's it. So starting from the top, I got this message, and it says, and this is one that made me think. It says, I'm curious about the different aspects of filming yourself that draw you to it. Are you turned on by your own body that you want to watch it in a third person? Or do you watch yourself like a director and think about what you could have done better? Do you keep all of these videos as if, are you building a collection? And the answer to this question is like, yes to all of it. And like, this is what makes this it makes this addiction not singular, like with like one thing. It makes it so compound. um all of these things are fetishes in my mind. Um i um i i'm not so much turned on by my, like, looking at when I was younger. I kind of was, because I thought I was like hot shit. But like, now I'm simply addicted to the process of doing it. Um, Not necessarily like my own body, but when I get like good clips together that I feel like are like this is hot, this is what's like, this is what people like, this is what I think a hot video is. I like to share it, and I like to get, and I like that the feedback I get from people. I like the validation. Even if I don't share a video, I do like to add it to my collection, and I relive the experience, and that's another detriment. It's like I'm reliving this experience with this body. For example, um, XY, this guy, he was so super hot and he had a big cock, and like, oh my god, like, even if the sexual experience itself wasn't that great, I make it, and I have this video that I like, that I can like go back over and over, and I can like relive it, even though I may never get another chance with XY, or even if I'm with XY again, it's like not great. I have this, it's like I have it in my catalog, and it's almost like, when I say XY, I'm actually thinking of a certain person, but like it's almost like a trophy, and again, not healthy. I'm not even thinking about how like our connection wasn't there, about how the sex wasn't even that great. I'm not rethinking about how the actual sexual experience. I'm thinking about this video is hot, and it makes it look like something that I think is would be enjoyable, that people would be envious of, like not envy, like I hate to say envious of, but people would like long for that, and that's something. It's a really unhealthy trait of this addiction that I'm coming to understand with myself. So did I answer all of that? Another thing is like I really do, ever since a young age, like I've been, to be quite honest, I remember I was filming myself since I was 14 having sex with my boyfriend, and I remember being obsessed with the videos. After we broke up, like I even regret to this is how like a deep this like addiction thing runs. I regret destroying those videos because I've wanted to go back to them so many times as an adult. Like that was some of like my hottest sexual experiences, and even though it's like totally illegal, like I wish that I had them. And it's just like another aspect of, reliving like this unhealthy sexual drive. Even though I did have an extreme connection with that guy, it's not so much about I'm not reliving the connection we had of intimacy. I'm reliving like I'm just like wishing I'm wanting something that I can't, that isn't even realistic. It's just it's bonkers. Okay. Yeah, so just like the filming of sex and stuff like that. Like I am a voyeur. It's like it's a fetish, and it's an addiction. And I remember I can get off track very easily, but I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine. He was gonna have a guy come over, and and it came up that I was like, I don't even like filming if I don't even like hooking up or having sex with someone if I can't film it. And that's when I first started to realize that this is probably a problem. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's just like I am addicted to the voyeurism. I do like to watch myself. I like to see how I can do it better, even though no one should be watching my sexual acts, ideally a partner that I'm with, we're going to have good sex, and we're going to be involved in each other, and I'm not going to have to worry about angles or getting a good shot or like any of that stuff. So moving on, yes, I've built quite a collection of sexual work that's available on the internet, and that I have privately. Yeah. Um, Also, this fella asked a question about Grindr and ghosting, which I really want to get to, which is like kind of its own separate video. It's not really on subject, but um, I feel like it's relevant to my mental the things that I the experience I go through when I'm dealing with this sexual thing. It's like a part of it, ghosting and like things that happen. So, anyways, number two, You can be drawn into hypersexuality and addiction by others. Remember, others' wants and insecurities and issues exist on a different level for reasons you described about yourself. Sorry, that these are other people's writing, and I'm not going to be able to like autocorrect all of it. So I'm going to say that again. You can be drawn into hypersexuality and addiction by others. Very true. Remember, others' wants and insecurity issues exist on a different level for reasons you described about yourself. Insecurity in youth is so out of whack with what reality should be, and reasons too many to list. But they don't go away and get covered up later in life. In a world made to be full of sexual insecurities, it almost seems at times to be luck to finally fall into what you think is a comfortable place in life. You're growing. I listened. Believe me. That, I don't even know why I copied that down because I have a hard time even responding to that. I think that the most important line from this was that you can be drawn into hypersexuality by others. And I definitely agree because the people I follow on Twitter and online and people who my porn star persona, look up to draw me into this hypersexual mode because they are in that mode because that's their work, that's their business. I'm not in that business anymore, but I'm addicted to it. Um, like I've said maybe before, I'm not addicted to um wanting to be a porn star. I'm addicted to I'm addicted to like the other side. I'm addicted to the acts of being a porn star. You know, like I'm not I get a lot of flack for trying to hold on to an old image that is like so like Cody, get over it, Cody, it's the past. And it's like it affects my life in a different way now, and that's what I'm trying to address. um I'm very much proud of where I'm at in my life, and I feel like I have to say that as a disclaimer because I get so much of that like give up on your old like who lose Cody Cachet, like Cody Cachet is old new like is old news, like this died, blah 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 blah, and it's like no, it's actually just I've made that part of who I am, and I'm proud of the person I've become. So I like I like that I'm sharing this with everyone and I'm trying to figure it out. Um, yeah, I'm a vulnerable person, and for that I will give myself a pat on the back because not everyone who was in porn 10 years ago does what I do, and not everyone who's in porn right now living their glory days are gonna have the life that I've managed to create for myself. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, being drawn to hypersexual sexuality by others is so true. I mean, I have friends that get me, you know, like the one I even mentioned earlier, it gets me right back into the loop. I've got guys that are on my like my I've got friends who always try to rope me in to go to like do things that are that I'm very tempted to do. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I'm disappointed in myself. Sometimes I'm like, okay, this is okay sometimes. But the thing is like they are in this wheel of addiction that I'm very close to teetering on all the time. Um, and so that goes for people and your friends. That goes by the environment you put yourself in, the environment that you sit in online. And it's all very relevant. Okay, just watched this video. I feel like I have the same thing. Being filmed, going on Grinder like a maniac, etc. I think it helps to just be doing something, creating art, music, or whatever, and just getting your mind off of sex. Being friends with people who don't sexually excite you. Like, this guy gets it. Like, these are all things I have become aware of. Now, I exercise all of these techniques. If you follow me, you know I create music, hypersexual music at that. I express myself in a lot of different ways. Whether it's exercise, whether it's music, whether it's making these videos, whether it's having a conversation with a friend, whether it's going to a support group or talking to my therapist. These are all things that I do, and yet the urge doesn't go away. And I occasionally give into it. Now, does that make this a demonizing process? Like, I'm not going to do that to myself or others, um, because slipping up is healthy. Like, slipping up and falling down is healthy. Getting back up is healthy. You know, I would say like slipping and falling down happens, and getting back up is healthy. You know, it's something that it's impossible to be perfect, to be our ideals of these perfect selves. So I think that these outlets are extremely important to constantly, whether you want to be doing them or not, to be exercising. Being around people who do not sexually excite you is a key factor and wellness that I think that needs to be talked about in the gay community. I see it's prevalent. It was maybe more so it was in the past. It was in the past for me, definitely. I think that I'm a judge when I say I see it in others. I see people going on Grindr, you know, it's just like, it's obvious. I think that when you take sex out of the equation, I think that you can have more true friendships that aren't based around ulterior motives, you know, and it just depends on what your motives are. I know it's like like there was a point in time when my ex-boyfriends broke up with me. He's like, "You fuck all your friends," and I was like, and then I thought to myself, it's like, oh my god, all my friends that I hang out with, I have had sex with all of them, and that's something I will, that the awareness I'll continue to work on. I don't want to spend too much time talking on each thing, but that's a very good point. To not be addicted to sex, you should probably not surround yourself by people that you want to have sex with all the time. Look for other things, right? Attraction is such a motivator in all areas of life. It really, really is. Yeah. I just watched your video about sex addiction. I thought it was really interesting, and your points came across, even if it seemed difficult to articulate them. Thank you. I found myself in porn cycles also. I'm fine without watching it, but can go down the rabbit hole when I do. Same. Similarly to you, I questioned whether I should unfollow all these hot guys on Twitter. Ultimately, a long time ago, I did. Or after a long time, I did. For me, I realized it was a waste of time, and I knew where it would take me. I also recognized that if I wanted to see that, I could easily find it again. I've kind of discovered for myself that while I have no shame in watching porn, that it can have a negative consequence in my real life. I've noticed I get lazy and kind of depressed, and there's always more porn to watch. I wouldn't say I have hard limits on how much I watch or anything, but I try to offset it with a trip to the gym or a trip to the gym afterwards, or running errands or something. Anyways, I thought I'd share that with you since you asked for feedback. Well, thank you for the feedback. And this is my favorite response, because I too had that realization that this is all a waste of time. At first, when I started following all these people 7 or 8 years ago, it was a business I was in. I wanted their association. I wanted people to know who I was. I wanted to have them as options if I wanted, to work. I wanted, it was like a networking thing. Now it's meaningless. And all it does is make me horny all the time, and I don't get anything done. I find out when I've been off of Grindr for about 3 months now. And it's funny. I say I've been off the Grindr. I still have it on my phone because I can't, I'm not there yet. I can't delete it. And I'll still sometimes accidentally click on, and sometimes I purposely click on, and then I like to get all the messages, and even though I don't read them, it's just like, see, I'm still in that cycle of addiction. But, what was I saying? But yeah, like all it does is it's like such a huge distraction. When I got off a grinder and that alone, I was like being so much more productive. And with that productivity, I found myself to be happier. When I get into these porn loops and I'm trying to talk to these guys, I'm trying to rile fans up and all of this stuff. Like, none of it really amounts to much. It's a waste of time. And there are so many better things I could be putting my energy into, which I've started to do the last few years. If you follow me, you know that I'm working on a web store. Um, Sex will always be part of my image in my life, and I will always incorporate it. But now it's about making something more of it than just sitting around and selling sex, um, or promoting myself as like a sexual object. And I hope that maybe people can see that I'm striving to be and accomplish more with my life these days. Um, Easy for me to go on a tangent. So yeah, I really, really like this. The only reason why I haven't gone through and unfollowed a lot of these people is because that shit is time consuming. I like, I really want to get into like making groups so I can see certain people's things in my feed and see other, like I can go to like a porn thing when I want to. And someone once told me when I was at Helix that there's like a way that you can like, unfollow everyone who doesn't follow you, which would be like eliminating a lot of my like nonsense right there. But yeah, and I heard that impacts your influence. If anyone knows anything about like influence and how like the way you follow people or anything, please like comment below in the comments. Um Let me just go over this again and make sure there's nothing here that I really wanted to include. Um yeah, whoever sent this, thank you. This is a really good one. I'm going to move on to the next one. Someone said, "Is this addiction or is it just natural?" Good question, and I'm going to give you my opinion. I think addiction is natural. I think it's a very natural thing. If you think about from the time that you wake up for the time that you go to sleep, all the things that you do throughout the day, it's all an addiction. They're all habits. An addiction has a negative connotation. A habit has a more positive connotation. You know, um, um, you know, let's say like brushing your teeth is like, or going to the gym, or eating a healthy breakfast, or masturbating once a day. These are all healthy habits. Masturbating all day and not getting anything done, um, calling out a sick to do so, or even just spending a free day off of work doing it, um, more often than not, these are negative things, but they're all very natural. We fall into these things naturally because it is our reward system is that we're lacking something, so we're making up for it somewhere else, and we're giving ourselves that reward so we feel good in the moment, whether it affects us negatively down the road. These are all very natural things that happen. Um, have you ever been to SLAA? I was in the program for a bit. It can be helpful. Now, I didn't know that until like some of you guys educated me that there were like so many sex anonymous groups. So there's like I didn't write them all down. So there's like sex addicts anonymous, and there's one other one, and then there's Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, which if I were to go to a meeting, I would definitely go to the Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, because I think that all of this stems from um, the void of love in my life. And I'm definitely just as much addicted to love and relationships as I am to sex. Um, they're definitely intertwined. So no, I've never been to a meeting. I'm always opposed. I'm never opposed to trying something new. I would like to go, and I'm gonna actually write that down on my 2019. Um, I was about to call it a bucket list. It's not really a bucket list. It's just like my goals. I write every year. I write down my goals for the year, and I'll share a few of those with you, just because I want to hear what other people think from this video. You might be able to give me something good to put on my list. You guys are helping me out here. It's great. This is gonna be my longest video ever. Um, Okay. I didn't go further. This must be from a separate person. Um, so I definitely think that, um, I think that all 12 step meetings are definitely helpful for anybody, whether you're an addict or not. You can get something from it. There's something there from everyone, whether you just got to shut up and listen to it. Like I said, look for similarities in things rather than your differences and arguing with it. You get so much more out of life. Um, Someone says, I'm actually going to skip to this one because I think, okay, so thanks for posting this. It was a really good video and a great topic. I have so many thoughts about what you said that I'll start with my own sex and porn addiction. I'm sorry if I'm sharing this and this was private and you didn't want me to share it, but I'm not saying who you are. I've been in a recovery program since 2005, and that's probably when all this stuff started for me, and have been dealing with the ups and downs of it since. It is definitely worth the journey, and as you travel, you'll learn more about yourself and what's going on. Believe that. Part of the journey is increasing self-awareness. Some of it is exciting to learn and some of it is painful. I never saw myself as being a control freak, but I realized I am. I have a lot of the traits. Being in a group has been very beneficial for me. There are 3 groups out there. SA, Sexaholics Anonymous, SAA, Sex Addicts Anonymous. Not really sure what the difference is between these ones. And Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. All of these organizations have self-tests on their sites where you can figure out if you may be a sex addict, but I think you've already come to that conclusion. Porn and other activities I was in helped with my depression and other negative feelings. Although I didn't know it at the time, I'd run to porn to feel different and to deal with stress, anxiety, insecurity, among other things. I hope this helps. Now, that actually triggered a thought, that I feel like that I feel, especially porn in this new generation of like, everything, porn is accessible and we compare ourselves to porn stars. Even me being a porn star, I compare myself to porn stars. Am I good enough? Even when I'm not filming it, or if I am filming it, I'm like, am I good enough? We have these unrealistic expectations that we put on sex. Children, young adults, teens growing into their sexuality, they think that sex is supposed to be the way that it looks on the camera, and that is not true. I think it creates a very high and unrealistic standard for sex, and I think that it makes us feel we're really inadequate as people, or as lovers, or as what we bring to the table as a sexual partner. And I think that that could be a real detriment to future generations. And I just wanted to squeeze that in there. That was helpful. I do plan on looking into the Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. I'm afraid I'm just going to find someone in there that I fucking click with and then off and running. Okay, I have a few more things here, and I'm going to go the full 30 minutes. I don't care this time. You look like someone I'd be happy having addicted to me sexually every day. Why did I include this in here? But how to overcome any addiction is changing our thoughts to a new focus. Our dopamine levels in our brain are in need, and so maybe you gotta find something else to satisfy that dopamine with interests such as art, music, exercise, strenuous physical exercise, or a sedative to relax the hormones. Like I said, I've already addressed this. I'm doing all of those things, and this is still a persistent, it screams at me at times. Yeah. I'm even on antidepressants, and it even curbs my sexual appetite, like physically, my libido. I'm like super unmotivated by sex with my actual hormones. But that's how I know the addiction has like got to me, because I'm telling you, it is in my brain. My brain goes to it. And my dick cannot get hard, but my mind is hard. You're getting bad advice from somewhere. You haven't actually described any harm from your sex drive, such as avoiding obligations, etc. And meth is a problem. I've totally addressed this, at least in this video I have. So maybe next time, buddy, we'll go back to that one. Not quite the same thing, but I think I may have an addiction. This is a good one. I think I may have an addiction to buying webcam shows. I've spent a lot of money. I replied to this guy, and I said, it's usually a problem when it starts to affect your life negatively, like if you couldn't pay your bills or something. But if you feel like it has become too much and you can't stop, I'd say that is also a problem. I'd say that it's definitely a problem. And he replies, I'm spending more money than I actually have, so it is a problem. I'm not sure why I can't stop. Maybe it's the excitement, especially if it's with a new person. It's difficult for me to get help with it too, due to the sensitive nature of what I'm doing. This is like, as an adult performer and as someone who's worked in the adult industry, whether I'm in with a studio, whether I'm working for myself, whether I'm doing these webcam shows, I know that this I have seen this time and time again. I do not understand. I mean, I understand. I just don't get into webcam shows. Like, I'm not a fan of Chatterbait. I'm not. There's like another one where people go on and they like watch each other jerk off, and I don't really like. I'm not like a big fan of that. Um, it just doesn't do anything for me. Maybe it's because I've been on the performer end of it and I just don't like it. But I can see how the client gets super addicted to it, especially with a new person. Some guys get a lot, like, they can make quite a bit of money off of doing, working out of their house and just playing a role to someone. And yeah, I wish you good luck with this. And I don't really have any advice for how you could back off of it. It is such, because you're getting that personal interaction with someone that you, whether you want them sexually, whether you are as mesmerized by their presence and attention to you and just like their personality as you are their body, and you get to share this experience. I have definitely taken advantage of that avenue myself. So I'm just trying to think of something to advise this guy other than yeah, it's hard to talk to people about it because it's very sensitive nature. But hell, message me. Maybe I'll talk to you, and we'll see what we can come up with for you. That's all I got for now. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I'm thrilled that I got the response that I did from you guys. This is awesome. This is the kind of stuff I want to be doing on my channel, and I thank you for helping me as much as hopefully this video has helped you. So, have a great week, have a great life, live your best life, and I'll see you in the next video.